I now call this meeting of the Board of Education to order. I would like to remind everyone that some of our meeting presenters may participate via Zoom. Ms. Ozinski, may I have a roll call, please?
Trustee Bascott?
Yes.
Trustee Mohammed?
Here.
Trustee Schmidt?
Present.
Trustee Wilkerson?
Present.
Trustee Wilkins?
Here.
Trustee Wilkes? Trustee
Here. I would now like to introduce the non-voting member at the table, Jazz Parks, Superintendent of Schools.
Good evening. Thank you, President Feaster.
May I have a motion to approve the agenda?
So moved.
Moved by Trustee Schmidt,
Second.
support by Trustee Wilkerson. Discussion? None? Ms. Ozinski?
President Feaster?
Yes.
Trustee Bascott?
Yes.
Trustee Mohammed?
Yes.
Trustee Schmidt?
Yes.
Trustee Wilkerson?
Yes.
Trustee Wilkins?
Yes.
Motion carries.
I believe that brings us down to public commentary.
We
Sorry.
have no signups for public commentary tonight.
Thank you, Ms. Ozinski. And I believe that brings us down, well, obviously there's the community feedback that is available to the public.
There is
And
no community feedback.
All right. And I believe that brings us down to reports of association. Ms. Ozinski, do we have a representative here from AEA?
We do not have a representative tonight.
All right. Ms. Ozinski, do we have any group signups?
No groups this evening.
All right. I believe that brings us down to number 7, the information section, and I will turn it over to Superintendent Parks.
Thank you, President Feaster. It is a pleasure to bring an update this evening to trustees and the community. This month, September, is Suicide Prevention Awareness Month, and we remind our AAPS community of the important role we can all play in suicide prevention. We know that working together, we can help to reduce stigma and recognize the warning signs that can make a big difference in keeping students safe. Each Friday in the district update this month, we will feature critical information and resources for youth suicide prevention. And you can also visit the AAPS suicide prevention page to see all of the information and additional resources there. Yesterday, September 16th, marked National IT Professionals Day, honoring the IT professionals who do the critical work to keep our networks and applications running and secure. Every day, our district ITD team members are called upon to resolve many technological challenges so that we can all do our important work in supporting our AAPS students and staff. So we want to thank our fantastic ITD staff for their expertise in managing and maintaining the essential systems and applications that power our digital experiences. Yes. We also would like to say congratulations, extend a really sincere congratulations to AAPS paraeducator Percy Brown. Mr. Brown was awarded the Michigan Education Association Leon A. Bruner Award for his lengthy service to fellow education service professional members in numerous elected and appointed union leadership positions over the course of his 45-year career. Mr. Brown currently serves as senior member of the MEA Board of Directors and until very recently served as the president and chief negotiator of the AAPS Paraeducators Association. So we congratulate Mr. Brown on this well-deserved recognition. Trustees, we are happy to share that the Student Support Advisory Committee, those members have been selected, and the committee, which includes staff, students, parents, and caregivers, and community partners, will convene its first meeting tomorrow, Thursday, September 18th. The advisory team's purpose is to inform an action plan that incorporates strategies and recommendations that will help us to use data to identify inequities and guide responsive actions with our students. It will help us to reduce suspensions and address disproportionality, in particular among our Black students, our male students, our students with disabilities, and those students who are economically disadvantaged. And they will inform how we examine our current district discipline policies and identify areas contributing to disproportionate suspensions. So we are pleased that that advisory has come together and are looking forward to our first meeting with them tomorrow. Scarlett Middle School has been nominated for the My Future Fund Dream Big Award for the second year in a row. The Dream Big Award honors the school from each district in the county with the highest family engagement and participation in the My Future Funds, which is a countywide children's savings account program. Through My Future Fund program, eligible Washtenaw County students will receive money for a savings account that can be used to support their college and/or career endeavors. The award will be presented on October 23rd at the Morris Lawrence Building on the campus of Washtenaw Community College. So we congratulate Scarlett Middle School for that nomination for the second year in a row. Our Ann Arbor Public Schools students and family members are welcome to the Alana's Foundation Flu Vaccination Clinic at Pioneer High School on Monday, October 6th from 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. The vaccine is available for those who are age 2 and up. A flu vaccine doesn't always prevent the flu, but it can lessen the flu's more serious symptoms, reduce the risk of serious illness and flu-related hospitalization in children and adults with chronic conditions. Just want to share that we continue to fill our vacant and open positions across the district. This includes paraprofessional positions, ancillary staff, vacant teaching positions. So we are working full speed ahead to ensure that those vacant positions, we are interviewing on an almost daily basis and making those recommendations for hire on a daily basis also. So just wanted to make sure we kept the community and trustees up to date that we are continuing to fill the vacant positions across the district. And lastly, trustees and community, I want to share that the district has been notified that yet again this year we will sustain another increase to our healthcare costs, which is a challenge impacting school districts nationwide. I have directed the district administration's bargaining team to work collaboratively with our employee groups during negotiations. Together, we need to find some sustainable solutions that balance the rising cost of health care while continuing to support our dedicated staff and maintain our quality instruction and programming for our students. So we are certainly committed to transparency and partnership as we navigate this issue with our employee groups. And our last update will come at the top of the capital programs fall update. Mr. Bing will share a brief update on the district's recycling program and where we are headed with some potential future recommendations in the next few weeks. And that concludes the superintendent's update.
Thank you very much, Superintendent Parks. If there are no questions, we'll move down to the consent agenda. We are now at the consent agenda. I skip it? Oh, sorry, I skipped the capital programs fall update. I'm sorry. Mr. Bing.
He said,
almost forgot about
So
you.
we'll bring the team forward at this point for the update. Trustees, they're going to share a fall update, which will cover the summer work that has taken place under our capital programs. They will also walk through the annual report for the 2023-2024 school year. The new annual report for the 24-25 school year is in the process of being audited, and as soon as that is complete, we will bring that forward to trustees as well. So we are pleased to bring some information this evening regarding our capital programs on both of those accounts, both the annual report and the fall update, which is a look back at our summer work, preview of work to come. So I'll turn it over to Mr. Bing.
Hello? Okay.
Yeah, there you go.
Yes, very loud. All right. Good evening, trustees and AAPS community. We appreciate the opportunity to present our fall update this evening and share the tremendous scope of work the district and our team tackled over this summer. 40 projects at 13 school facilities in 73 days, which includes weekends and holidays. Those numbers do not include the 5 major projects currently under construction. 4 new elementary schools, our first since 1977, and 1 major modernization of a middle school, bringing our project totals even higher. This volume of work, combined with the scale and scope of the efforts, was an extremely challenging endeavor given the constraints around a number of working days, persistent supply chain challenges, tariffs, uncertainties, and some wet weather events that led to some pauses and delays. But we've continued addressing facility condition assessment items, focusing on improving learning environments, investing in infrastructure stabilization such as roofing and paving, finishing our last outstanding air conditioning and lighting project at an elementary school, and furthering the goals established in our sustainability framework through investments in natural non-toxic flooring improvements, rooftop solar arrays, and electric bus vehicle and charging infrastructure. None of our work would be possible without the collaboration and support of our building administrators, teachers, and staff and students. We're extremely grateful for their participation and ability to adapt to environments that at times are significantly disrupted in order to get the job done. And so, which is ultimately to significantly improve our buildings and campuses for our student, staff, and school communities. So they assist us when things go perfectly as planned and when things are less than perfect, and we're grateful for their efforts. Many thanks to our construction project manager, Mo Nagpal, who's not with us tonight, and our owner's representative, Gilbane Building Company, who works extremely hard hand in hand with our architects and engineers, our construction managers, and all of our trade contractors and consultants, as well as our regulatory agencies to successfully implement each project. And we certainly support the Superintendent Parks and this board in authorizing these projects to create more healthy, efficient learning environments for our students and staff. So with that, I will turn it over to Stephanie to dig in to the pretty pictures and all of our technical details. Thanks.
Excuse me, good evening, trustees and Superintendent Parks. Thanks. Okay. So just wanted to go through some of the projects that we worked on this past summer. Typically, we come at about this time every year and just give a or show what has occurred. A lot of work happened, a lot of things that hopefully you'll recognize some of the projects that this board approved, even as recent as this spring. And so if we could move forward, I'll walk everybody through it. First one's Abbott Elementary, and this was an air conditioning and lighting project. We had started this last summer, and we have finished it this summer. So this included some air conditioning improvements, LED lighting improvements, and then several areas of ceiling replacement. So Ann Arbor Open was one that we came back to. Last year we did air conditioning and lighting projects, but this year we came back to do the paving, some much needed paving improvements. At Ann Arbor Steam, we had performed air conditioning and lighting last year. So after we finished with all of our roof penetrations, we came back to do roofing. Clegg Middle School. This is where we came back to do the restroom improvements, and then we are starting on our exterior envelope improvements with replacement of windows and doors. We also came back, and since we were done with all of our roof penetrations, not only was the roofing completed, but we also did the new solar array for Clegg. On the Clegg Middle School campus, we did site improvements to accommodate for the new Logan Elementary School. So this was relocating the driveway. Community High School. So we're back at Community High School. We had performed the air conditioning and lighting projects back in 2021 and 2022. We always knew we had to come back to take care of the floors and to do painting. And a lot of it is it's a beautiful building and we wanted to restore. I mean, it just makes me cringe when I see 5 layers of paint on custom built in. So here's a before and after of some of the painting and restoration that occurred there. our floors, where there was terrazzo, we restored the terrazzo. Where we kept that ceramic, that tile that has been there since the original inception of the building. But we also had on the first floor where there was some crazy VCT flooring that was cracking and was in bad shape. So we came back through and actually put in a new flooring system there to mimic the other historical floors. Community high school parking lot, which is heavily used by the community and was in desperate need of some improvements. We were able to do that, and we also were able to go and do some roofing improvements too. Forsyth Middle School, we just completed the air conditioning and lighting projects there, so it was a great opportunity for us again to go up onto the roof and do our roof improvements now that all of our penetrations had occurred for the new air conditioning. And we also were able to come back and redo the stairs and sidewalks. Hazley Elementary, this is a project that we finished up the air conditioning and lighting for. We started this last summer and we finished it this summer. So you can see some of the lighting, much improved lighting. We had to do a power upgrade to accommodate the new HVAC. So you can see where we did some electrical upgrades. Here on high school, this is the auxiliary athletic field, turf field, which was I think was approved late in the spring. So we were able to get that replaced at Huron. And the pool lockers and timing board, which was much needed. So these lockers actually have a ventilation system in there that that you can't see, but there's a ventilation system so everything can breathe within the lockers and dry. The next one is our Network Operations Center. So we talked about this briefly, I believe, very early on in the year. I think you were just coming on, for some people, just coming on board. But this is where we're relocating our Network Operations Center from the Ballast Building over to the transportation property right next to the Transportation Center. So this is it's not a big area, but it is heavy for underground and fortified to handle a lot. So this is the beginnings of our Network Operations Center. This work will continue through the year. So Pioneer High School, the new auxiliary athletic field, and the new lockers and timing board. Pittsfield Elementary School, we were able to go there and do some paving improvement projects. At Scarlett Middle School. Same as Clegg and as Forsyth. After we've now finished all the air conditioning and lighting improvements, it was time for us to come back in and do the floors. The one on the left is the cafeteria, new cafeteria flooring. It was just all one pattern, so now this gives it a little depth. Some people asked about what those black dots are on the floor, like why is it a weird pattern? We were requested to put those in. Those are where the tables get set up. So when they do quick table, putting the tables up and down quickly, there's a mark for them so they're all evenly spaced. And then the hallways also received new flooring and painting. More flooring. This is the band room. So the band room actually went with a patterned floor. If anybody who's played an instrument, you know why. So, and then the restroom improvements. Skyline High School, the auxiliary athletic field. So on this field here, we had some dips in the field, so that was taken care of. And then also there was some dips in the track, and those actually were just finishing that work up right now. And Skyline High School, this is the new chiller system that I think had an intention of being installed 20 years ago, and now it's finally being installed. So this will help us with the redundant system that is much needed at Skyline High School. And then again, the new pool timing board that was needed. Transportation, South Lot. This is where we are actually installing our new EV bus charging. So we have it at the main lot, but we are in the process of installing at the South Lot. If you're unfamiliar, there's the transportation lot, and just south of it, there's another piece of property that has additional buses. And so that's where that solar and the EV charging are being installed. For our major projects, New Dickin Elementary School, geothermal drilling, and they actually were able to site clear and start the building pad, the prep for the building pad. We're actually further along than these photos at this point. It's changing every week. New Logan. So in addition to what you saw for the driveway, where we had to move the driveway and make some of the site improvements, this is where they are actually starting on the building pad, and actually foundations are coming out of the ground now. New Mitchell started a little earlier than Dickin, Logan, and Thurston, so they are a little further out of the ground than the other projects. They started in, I believe, April or May. So right now, those are the stair towers that we're seeing and the elevator towers. Slauson. So the demolition of the pool. So first, all the equipment was removed, all the underground was removed, and then the backfill of the pool itself. We'll be putting the new addition on the existing foundations of the pool. So we wanted to fill the pool in first before we took down the building for safety reasons. New Thurston Elementary. Here we've started with, on the far right-hand side are the temporary walks that we created. And then also on the left-hand side, they're prepping the building. You can probably see some foundations in the back there. And then also starting with the aggregate piers, which I just want to say are not pile drived into the ground. They are actually drilled. I think everybody thinks that there's a pile driving that's happening. There's no pile driving. It's because it says it's a rammed aggregate piers, but they're not rammed. So they're actually drilled, and then they're filled with the aggregate. So our upcoming projects. I know that this board has said that they'd like to have a heads up before things come to the board, so we want to try to give a heads up. We're currently, items previously approved, but we have not started yet, is the solar at Freeman and Transportation Center. And then the exterior envelope improvements for Eberwhite and Ann Arbor will start next summer, but we're working on getting the brick matching and getting all the material now. We have to order that, so it takes a little bit of time. For ones that we will be bringing to the board, similar to what we did for community on the flooring and Scarlet. Tappan was also finished their air conditioning and lighting projects back in 2022. So we want to make sure we come back to those buildings and repair those floors and do some replacement. And then with Skyline High School and Pioneer, both are in need of elevator improvements. So we'll be coming back, coming to the board with bid results and recommendations this fall for a summer of 2026 replacement and improvement. And then we're looking to do the exterior envelope improvements at Baugh, Community, and Angel, all of our historic buildings that need a little love. And that's it.
Steve, any questions for Ms. Corona, Mr. Bing?
All right.
All right. So we will transition to the 2023-2024 Capital Programs Annual Report. Again, the 24-25 Annual Report will come forward in just a few weeks once the audit is complete, so that trustees and community can ensure that they have the most up-to-date annual report. This one has been available on the website. It is produced in December of each year, so this came forward that Ms. Corona is about to walk through now in December of 2024. But we want to make sure, because it was mentioned a couple of meetings ago, we wanted to make sure we revisit it in preparation for the report that will be forthcoming, the annual report that will be forthcoming. So I saw Trustee Basket. Did you?
I'm sorry, I did not have questions.
Okay.
I wanted to thank the team for the update. Appreciate the pictures. Not all of us get out into the sites the past summer, but it looked like a lot of great work, and just wanted to say thank you. Congratulations on the
Thank
stuff.
you. Yeah, and I think it's our intent that we come to you more frequently to provide some photos and updates so people can see what's happening with our major projects. So that is our intent moving forward. The annual report, so it is located on the website. We did just move it this week to a better place to find it because it was hard for people to find it. So it is currently sitting on the website under presentations. There's a section called presentations under board reports. Yes, thank you. So we did move it there so it's a little easier to find and searchable. So the annual report has the same information every year. It is a cumulative document of everything going back to the beginning. And we just keep adding to it every year. So if somebody wanted to find out, like, what are all the things that have been done, you can go back to one document to see that information. It provides a little brief history. The beginning provides, obviously, there's a table of contents. There's a brief history about the history of the bond and the sinking fund, for those who don't know. It also provides some little fast facts. It provides what is the difference between a bond and sinking fund, so it explains that to anybody who wants to know that. It provides what were the some of the guidelines for or the focus areas of the bond program at the time the bond was approved.
Can you share those 4 focus areas? Can you name?
Let me show you.
Page 7.
It is the 4. We've seen this many times. It's the 4 boxes, focusing on teaching and learning, safety, health, and well-being, sustainable and environmental responsible infrastructure, and efficient and effective support systems and services.
Thank you.
So. Then we go into and summarize by this upcoming year will be a little bit more broken out because we have so many projects under the miscellaneous that we're going to start chunking those out too. But we try to put all the air conditioning and lighting projects together and the status and some photos of the past year. All the theater improvements. So far, we've just done theater rigging. We're going to start to pivot towards improvements of our sound systems and other needs for our stages and theaters throughout the district. The elevators, we're always doing elevator improvements where we can make them. Playground, we are always doing playground improvements, as I think we've brought to the board previously. We've put all the paving projects together, the roofing projects together, and we did that because if somebody wanted to say, well, weren't we already there? You can see where we've been and all the schools that have been that have received those improvements. So same with solar, our stormwater improvements, and then also our building facade improvements. So we're starting to get into those. And then we have all of our other improvements. This here is where I'm probably going to have to start breaking it up because that list is getting pretty long. And then after we talk about all of the improvements that have occurred, we get into our major projects. So because our major projects go over a span of 4 years from beginning of starting with the engagements to the very end and moving in, we felt it would be important to show how things are progressing for each one of those major projects. So we just gave an update on where we were at with Mitchell, Dickin, Thurston, Logan at the end of last year. This year, there'll be, obviously, we'll get to see some construction improvements. So, and then going into the next part, we like to do a snapshot on our sustainability update because we know that that is an important and one of our main focus areas. So we give a summary of where we're at on our solar arrays and some fast facts, including geothermal. We always provide an update of all of our communications and engagements. That's just so people can see that we actually have them. Talking about, we do work with other organizations to assist us at times, and we engage with them also. Sometimes we will call, we work with Washtenaw Contractors Association in order to help generate interest in bidding our projects. Same with the Associated General Contractors of Michigan. We've actually done presentations to both of those organizations, the Michigan Minority Supplier Development Council and the actually AIA of Michigan. We have provided presentations to all of those groups in order to get engagement and to get interest in working on our projects. Next is the financial update, and the financial update is actually through the always through the June 30th, which is, it's hard for a lot of people. The district's fiscal year actually goes from July 1st to June 30th. Unlike everybody else out there, most people are just from December, the January 1st to December 31st. So we cut off the financial update as of June 30th. That gives you an idea of where we're at on expenditures. Yes, it looks like the same numbers, but I'm going to break it out for you very quickly so you can see what you're looking at. The first page is based on, is broken out by fund. Yes, by fund, and it's cumulative. So it's telling you based on each of the different fund buckets that the district tracks, where we're at from the current year and 1 year behind previously, and then also cumulative. So you can see it broken out between bond and sinking fund. The next page is investments by category. So that is actually combining the bond and sinking so you can see what that looks like together. And then at the bottom is an overall capital program summary between everything bond, everything sinking fund, and then the ongoing repairs, the ongoing repairs out of the sinking fund. So, which is not part of our capital projects. It's actually, there's a line item within the sinking fund for ongoing repairs and maintenance. So we just wanted to be able to highlight what that was. And then just for anybody who wanted to know, any property acquisitions that have happened over time, we put that in there too. And what are we looking at for upcoming major projects, which we have this past year, well, last December, we said we were going to start on engagements for Burns Park, King, and New Lawton, of which all those are currently underway and have been going on since February of this year. So,
Thank you. Questions for Ms. Corona on the annual report? Any information?
Trustee Muhammad.
My microphone is. So thank you for sharing this, especially the breakdown in numbers when it comes to the funds. Does it seem like we're on track overall when it comes to the overall budget?
So we are, yes and no. So we are on track with what has been approved so far. I think we will need to go and take a look at the Phase 2 plan. I've said this, I'll say it again. The bond was passed back in 2019 when the cost of living and our tax base was down here, right? And it stays stagnant. And yet our sinking fund continues to go like this, and so do our costs. So we are not keeping pace right now with the overall, what we originally planned. Yes, we're going to be able to do all of our improvements, all of our FCA improvements, the projects we currently have underway, but we're going to have to probably look at the timing of those things because the timing isn't matching anymore with the costs that are rising, and it's not keeping pace. So we're just going to have to look at the timing of our projects, and we will probably have to slow down a little bit. But I think that's something that we're looking at right now. We need to get the input of the board. This is not our decision to make, but right now we're on track. So, but we're trying to look in the future, right? We don't have a crystal ball. And I think the one thing that we can all agree on is, I think back, we thought that we're going to come out of COVID and everything was going to go back down and things were going to be, but that's not what has happened. And there's a lot of different variables that have not kept in pace with what our thoughts were back, in 2021, 22, when this plan was put together. So I think we're going to have to make adjustments. And even after we make this adjustment, I think even 4 years after we make the adjustment, we're going to have to probably make an adjustment.
Yeah, and there's some future variables also
Yeah.
that need to be considered, sinking fund renewal, things like that we just need to consider. So the team and I have been talking about bringing forward in a study session format for the board to have some really significant discussion about the continuation of Phase 2, and if there need to be just some difficult but realistic pivots that need to be made in the original planning. And we believe that the answer to that is yes.
Thank you.
So we look forward to coming back on updates of our major projects and with the next annual report. So.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
And before we close out, we have Mr. Bing. I want to make sure you are able to do the update on the recycling program.
Thank you, Superintendent Parks. We wanted to just provide a quick update on our efforts to promote recycling in the district. We understand that solid waste items that are separated in our school buildings need to be ultimately processed and diverted from the landfill as intended. It's incredibly important to our students, staff, and community. And we have historically had some issues with the use of bags and bagged recycling in the district, and those bagged recyclables not being processed. So we've been looking at practical solutions to address the challenges. And so we've been working with city partners, city staff, as well as representatives from U of M, Recycle Ann Arbor, and local advocates on solutions. And we believe that conversations have been productive and there's some possible resolutions. They come with costs, though, and resource impacts. And we have additional follow-up to do. We plan to meet with the county next week to talk about some potential partnerships. But we're hoping to bring recommendations forward in the coming weeks, still this fall, to better align AAPS operations with the goals outlined in the environmental sustainability framework. So just wanted to provide that update that we're going to be coming forward with some recommendations, and wanted to just thank our environmental ed team, Court Ambrosino and Sarah Hill, as well as our Director of Building Services, Jody Bullinger, who's helped us sort of push this forward, and a former AAPS faculty member, Dan Ezekiel, as well, who has helped kind of move the conversation along. So,
I have a question. Regarding bags, is it the use of plastic bags that's problematic?
Yes, so
So could we
If-
go to paper bags? Would that help?
possibly the practical application of paper bags ends up being a challenge when folks effectively we were using the liners because people would throw like a milk carton into the recyclables and there'd still be milk in there. And so you end up with this challenge of wet and kind of gross stuff over time. And so that was why there was a pivot or transition to bags at one point in time. Now we have to, in order to sort of have an effective program, we have to figure out how to educate folks to the point where we're not throwing half drank
I was going
milk
to say, we
containers.
couldn't recycle that anyway because
Yep.
it's already contaminated.
Yep.
So it's more than the bags, to your point. It's more of the education and practical use.
Yep.
Okay, and the team, you mentioned they're working on it, so you're going to continue to work on the educational piece. So it's, what did they say, the devil in the details? It's more
Yeah.
than just a program.
Yeah, so inside the school building, the bags helped, the liners helped with cleanliness. Outside of the school building, actually getting the recyclables into the 6-yard dumpsters was also a challenge. And so the bags helped actually physically move the recyclables into those containers. And so we've been working on a solution where we can roll certain carts through the building and then tip into a much lower, smaller container, working with city partners so that we basically have a 2-container system outside the building.
So forgive me, we've had this experience in the neighborhood. The challenge, though, is when that container is emptied, you don't want stuff flying all over the neighborhood, or in this case, the schoolyard. The bags also help keep the stuff, again, from flying everywhere. So that's why I was just wondering if paper bags, I mean, we could start a recycle program, bring your paper bags. And I mean, I don't want to tell you how to do your job, but I do understand the challenge and why people do use the bags.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I think it's great points and good observations. And I think, container tops and how we use these things would be critical in order to making this successful.
thank you.
All right. Any other questions, trustees? Seeing none, I believe that brings us down to number 8. We are now at the consent agenda. Ms. Ozinski, will you please read Yes, will you please read the consent agenda?
Yes. Approve minutes of the September 10th, 2025 regular meeting as presented or amended. Approve a closed session for the purposes of negotiations and attorney-client privilege on October 8th, 2025, 6 p.m. And that,
Thank you, Ms. Ozinski. Would anyone like to remove an item from the consent agenda? Seeing none, do I have a motion for the consent agenda?
So moved.
Second?
Moved by trustee Wilkerson, supported by trustee Schmidt. Any discussion? Seeing none. Ms. Ozinski, please.
President Feaster,
Yes.
Trustee Vasquette,
Yes.
Trustee Mohammed,
Yes.
Trustee Schmidt,
Yes.
Trustee Wilkerson,
Yes.
Trustee Wilkins.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. I believe that brings us down to number 9, which is board action. Designate MASB voting delegates for the Delegate Assembly, October 23rd, 2025 in Acme, Michigan. Do I need a motion?
Designate 4 trustees as delegates and 4 alternates if the board so chooses to represent the district
Okay.
if they're attending the delegate assembly.
So,
Trustee Schmidt?
yeah, we talked about this at our last meeting, but we had people absent. We wanted to make sure everybody was aware. We pushed it to this meeting. I think we found out that there are 4 people from the board that are attending this conference where this assembly is happening. And yes, and we
Yes,
have
but not everybody's attending on that Thursday.
I won't be there on the Thursday.
Oh, you won't be there on the Thursday, okay. So who I know trustee Wilkes is not here, but she was one of the people that would
Yeah.
be there. Trustee Basket
Yes.
and trustee Wilkerson?
No, I've had a schedule.
Oh, schedule change, okay. So it looks like we have two that will be trustees designates, and Wilkes and Basket. Okay,
Okay, so it sounds like we have two for sure, is what I'm hearing.
yeah, and no alternates because you have to be able to go to it, and
Okay.
it's up in Traverse City.
Okay. I was just Googling where Acme was. Okay.
I think it's true.
All right.
Sounds like a road.
Okay. So I'm not able to commit at this time to be there. Do we have to have four, Ms. Ozinski, or can we just go with
we
the
have
two?
to
Go with two.
Okay, all right. Well, looks like we have two then. So I need a motion to approve the two, Ms. Ozinski. Okay, is there a motion?
So moved.
Yeah.
Moved
And
by-
second?
Moved by trustee Wilkerson, supported by trustee Schmidt. Any discussion? Okay, seeing none, Ms. Ozinski, please.
President Feaster,
Yes.
trustee Basket,
Yes.
trustee Mohammed,
Yes.
trustee Schmidt,
Yes.
trustee Wilkerson,
Yes.
and trustee Wilkins.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you, Ms. Ozinski. And I believe that brings us down to number 10, items for agenda planning. Would trustees like to add anything to the list of items that we have for agenda planning? All right. So, trustee Wilkins.
I'd like to continue discussion about the cell phone use, whether the board's going to have a policy now that we've learned so much from the Skyline pilot.
So can I ask, build on that a little bit?
Mm-hmm.
So I think, and nod heads, so I think it's the pleasure of the board that we're all interested in something related school-wide as far as a policy?
District-wide?
District-wide, I'm sorry. Yeah? Is
Yeah.
that the case? I wonder if it makes sense to I guess I'm trying to think, do we have a conversation first, or do we have like the governance committee try to pull something together to bring to us as potentials? What do you think makes the most sense?
Maybe both of those things. You
Okay.
think?
Order, I guess, is what I was wondering. And I know we received
first?
some things from a group in the community. They looked at some other schools. I mean, we've got MASB to help us, look across the state also to give us resources, I think, about different policies that have been written. It seems like there needs to be some work done before we talk. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Trustee Muhammad?
I mean, yeah, it makes sense to go to governance
Yeah.
first and then you can look at all the different policies, put something together, but it doesn't mean that it's going to be, then we discuss it as a
Yeah,
board.
and who knows where it'll go from there, but we've sort of
Yeah,
had the input from Skyline,
Yeah.
and we talked and asked questions, and now some work somebody needs to get into it.
Yeah.
So that would be my suggestion.
Trustee Basket?
I would ask as a member of the governance committee, if trustees have any particular feelings or leanings either way in any direction, please let me know and other members too, because again, it would just add to the conversation.
Okay.
Agreed. Thank you, Trustee Basket.
I'm glad you brought that up, though. That's an important issue.
If there's nothing else, I believe that brings us down to number 11, items from the board. Do trustees have anything they would like to share? Trustee Schmidt?
Yes, as vice president of the board, I'm tasked with working on setting up training for the board so that we can be more effective. We have our retreat a week from Sunday on the 28th of September from 11 to 5 p.m. Tomorrow morning, I'll be working with Superintendent Parks and Trustee Wilkes in a planning meeting, trying to with the new facilitator from MASB to try to set up a good framework. If you have any suggestions or comments you want to send to me, concerns about that retreat, please send my way so it will help in that planning meeting.
Thank you, Trustee Schmidt. Any other items from the board, trustees? Okay, seeing none, I believe that brings us down to a motion to adjourn. Do I have a motion to adjourn by voice vote?
So moved.
By Trustee Wilkerson,
Second.
supported by Trustee Schmidt. Any discussion? Seeing none. All in favor to adjourn, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say nay. We are adjourned at 7:55.
I'm impressed.